Many of you remember the Divx format that was introduced by Circuit City in the mid to late 90s. And Divx was a rental-only format. Basically, just think of it as an encrypted DVD. And you buy the DVD, but the only way to decrypt it was to play it in a player that could get the decryption code from a remote server via a modem, via your phone line. So here is a Divx disc. In fact, it's the only one I have in my collection here. But I believe the original retail price on these was $5. And then you could spend more to see this movie again and again by buying another encryption key, or at least another viewing. They didn't call it an encryption key. But what I have here are two almost identical DVD players. As you can see, the top one is made to play Divx discs, and the bottom one is missing that logo. But these are two virtually identical RCA DVD players made in Mexico by Thomson Consumer Electronics. Here are the back of those two units, and as I pan across here, you'll notice one very small difference between the two, and it would be this phone jack right here. The bottom one does not have that phone jack. To look at the model numbers, the one without the phone jack is RC5220P. The one with the phone jack is RC5231Z. So the problem that I have with these two units, other than a little dirt inside that hole right there, is that one of the units will play and the other one won't. In fact, it's the Divx machine that won't play, and the machine that is non-Divx will play. So what I want to do is see just how similar these two units are inside, and if they are in fact nearly identical, I'm thinking of taking the power supply board from one of these and moving it up to the other one. That is, if the power supply board is a separate piece. I have the two units taken apart now, have the lids removed, and before I show you what the Divx machine is doing wrong, I wanted to show you some differences between these two machines. So you may notice right away there's a lot more circuitry on the board on the left to its matching position on the right. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. I don't know if you guys remember Zoom modems from back in the day when modems were a thing. This is apparently made by that company, because you see up on the top there it says Zoom board. That Zoom board goes over and attaches to where the phone jack is there, and basically in the middle of your screen there. And so that controlled the connectivity to the external server via your phone line. But there's a lot more circuitry here, and apparently a little bit more advanced processor to control the unit, as you can see here. This one over here has a very simple processor with not nearly as much circuitry hanging over the top of this board. Obviously, it doesn't need a modem, so that particular piece of the puzzle is completely missing. But you can see that there's still a board here that says telco interface on it. So obviously, it was the circuitry of the Divx machine that was then repurposed so that they continue to sell this model without the Divx feature intact. So now let's take a look at what this machine is actually doing, and you can kind of see the symptoms a little bit. Now notice the display here. Even though all we see is a little lock symbol down there, you can see that that lock symbol kind of dims and brightens as things move along there. See that? Now a minute ago it was really struggling, but now it looks like it's actually doing pretty well, which tells me that it's probably a power problem. Let's try it one more time here. Let's hit eject. Actually, kind of looks like the thing's going in reverse here. Yeah, I'm hitting eject multiple times, and it is just stuck there doing what it's doing. So as you saw there, I think the system just got mad. It eventually shut down once it couldn't detect that there was a disk in there. So the next question is, should we replace the power supply? Should we take the power supply from the left unit and put it in this one? And you can see here on the board there's quite a bit of brown in that area right there. So a little bit of heat damage there perhaps. Could be. Could be capacitor issues as well. But we'll look at this one over here. Doesn't quite have as much brown there on the board, but does have a little bit of it actually. But so it looks like the same board is in both of these. Kind of come back so you can see them. So it looks like this board here, this area here, would fit in this area here, and close enough models that it should work. And that would bring this Divx machine back to life, so we can play all of our Divx disks all again, right? Probably not, but anyway, let's go ahead and swap the boards out and see what happens. Well, what started out to be just simply a swap of the power supplies ended up taking me a whole lot further than I thought it would. For example, I did swap out the power supplies, but I noticed that only one end of these power supplies has a removable wire on there, and that removable wire was over here. See where it says power? So what happened when I tried to take that off of there is that the wire came off, so it was like crimped on there. And then the other end of it over on this side actually clips into place and is removable. So in order for me to remove the power supply from this machine, from both of them, I had to take the CD-ROM drives out. So here's the CD-ROM drive itself, and as it turns out, both of these machines have an identical CD-ROM drive now, or DVD-ROM drive. So how do I know that? Because I put the good machine's CD-ROM drive into the Divx machine that couldn't read disks. All right, so again, here's the three things I did. I stole the faceplate off of the good working machine. So notice the Divx machine had kind of a grayish faceplate on the front, or bezel, and the good one that actually worked had a black one. So I'm like, hey, I want the black bezel on my Divx machine. Now if I wanted to stay looking like a Divx machine, I had to have the cover that goes over the LCD screen. So it just so happens that those popped out. So I popped out the display from the Divx cover and put it in my black cover. So now I have a Divx display there, and I also have the sticker on the front with all the brags about this particular model. So we took the power supply out, we put it in this one, we put the working DVD-ROM drive out, we put it in this one, and we stole the front bezel off of it. So this is kind of a hot rod Divx machine at this point, a modified Divx machine, if you will. There's quite a few cables and stuff that I had to remove, but obviously this was made very modular because, look here for the CD-ROM drive, you've got one of the cables that went right onto the power supply there, and then you had a couple of ground connectors there on the back that connect to these three posts right here, so those had to be removed. And then the CD-ROM drive actually connects to that connector right there. Well, on this one, there's a huge circuit board over that connector. So I had to get back underneath it and just very carefully plug that cable in, as you see right there. Okay? Look at there, I see a Dolby Digital logo right there on that chip. And I'm not seeing that Dolby Digital chip over on this guy. Isn't that interesting? We have this Omega DVD chip on there, right there, but not seeing a Dolby Digital one in this area. Interesting. All right, so the cool thing is now this unit will read discs, and it won't sit there and spin. The second thing is the display looks very nice now. It doesn't dim when it's trying to read the disc. And let's see, I gotta push this rather firmly over here. And we'll go ahead and put that in, and you'll see it spin up. Now, I didn't show you the hello that you see when you turn the power on the first one, but look how nice and bright and pretty the hello is now. And of course, the only frame of reference we have is that little lock. But as you can see, that little lock looks nice and bright now. And wouldn't it be fun if we could just plug this display in and see what happens with it just laying inside there or laying here on the carpet plugged in? Let's give that a try and see what happens. Okay, well, it doesn't quite reach to the carpet, but I do have the display plugged in to the display adapter port there, and I'll go ahead and power it up. So it's actually a good thing that I swapped the displays out as well, because it looks like there's something wrong with this display. Obviously, without the lens over the front, it's blue, but I can go ahead and put this over the top, and notice what the 40 looks like there. Looks pretty ratty, and the DVD emblem there at the top right doesn't even look that good. Now let's look at where it says hello. Turn it off, turn it back on. Yeah, see there, the H is all broke up and stuff. So definitely the non-Divx machine had a superior display. And again, I'm glad I swapped that out and put it over on the Divx machine. So now I have a spare parts machine that I will probably end up throwing in the trash because all the parts appear to have been bad, other than maybe the power supply. Looked like the power supply may have been okay. But in any case, all the healthy parts are now in the Divx player. It has a nice crisp display. And now that it's working and reading discs, now we can watch our Avita movie, right? So all I needed is a monitor, and then I can watch my Divx movie. So let me go grab a screen, hook it up to this guy, and, well, we'll watch our Divx movie together. Let's go. Well, rather than bring the monitor to me, I went ahead and brought this Divx player to the monitor. And yes, the monitor is sitting on my RCA DVD recorder as well as DVR, which you can see on my channel as well. So look at here, I've got two RCA products stacked on top of each other. Now, ironically, the menu system on this guy is very similar to the one on this. In fact, they're nearly identical in the way that they're set up. So let's go ahead and turn it on. We've got a hello there. And there it is. And let's switch to non-flash here. All right, I've got my Divx disc here. Go ahead and put it in the machine. And let's see what happens. Time to play this movie, right? All right, so reading disc. Oh, look, the name of the disc is actually Divx. So this particular machine has some cool menus on it here. So we've got play, we've got disc guide, we've got lock. The lock menu lets you lock and unlock the player, set limits, and change the password so you can like completely keep your kids out of this DVD player or another family member. If we got a setup here, it's got language preferences, autoplay, display, sound, system test. Check this out. Player OK, disk Divx, ROM version AT 2.2, Divx OK, Divx account OK, player ID, and verifying phone connection, which it's not going to do that because there is no phone connected to this thing. All right, so look at here. I thought this is interesting. Glossary. So here we go through a glossary of terms. You can read all kinds of stuff. Educate yourself. I don't think I've ever seen a DVD player with a glossary on it so that you can learn more about this stuff. Let's go down and read what Divx is. Digital Video Express is a system based on a special encrypted movie disc. So there it is. They did say that it was encrypted. And they look just like DVDs. Divx discs will play only in special Divx players. You must register your player with Divx via your phone line to enjoy your Divx features. And Divx Limits, the Divx Limits menu allows you to control your Divx account purchases and rentals and restrict viewing based on ratings. All right, so let's go up here and see if we can play this disc. All right, you ready? Here we go. So from the play menu, we have standard play, random play. Now, why would somebody want to randomly play their movie? But in any case, here we go, standard play. Oh, what is this? Please register to activate Divx features. To register, connect a phone line to your player, then visit our website at divx.com or call customer service at 1-888-NEW-DIVX. Wonder what would happen if you actually called that number. Complete registration, dial prefix, verify connection, and then you got player ID and reference number. Very interesting. Okay, so I guess I can't play my disc, even though my Divx machine is working. It unless it's registered with the old server. We ain't going nowhere, folks. We ain't playing no movie. Sorry about that. Well, interesting. Well, let's go ahead and eject that. I can go ahead and put my Muppets movie back in there. Notice on the screen here, it does say Divx there on the display. See there? Divx. Go ahead and eject the disc. And we'll go ahead and put in our Muppet disc, which is right here. This is from the movie Muppets. And I'll just show you what that looks like when it comes on here. It tells you it's reading the disc. There you go. It even gives you the name of it up there. The Muppets USA Des. All right. Well, guys, that's going to conclude this enjoyable opportunity at looking at restoring this Divx player to its awesome condition. So once somebody hacks the system and figures out how to build their own Divx server so that we can all enjoy our Divx movies again, it's kind of a paperweight, so to speak. But hey, you know, it is a DVD player, right? It does say DVD video right there. So anyway, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Please share this with a friend and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next video.